So welcome to the second week. I'm really excited and this has been really fun for me. Um so last time we did like a pure client thing, just HTML, JavaScript, and CSS, and we used something called live server last time. But this time I wanted to work on something more server side and show you that we can serve that page without the live server and do it with code. So we're gonna do a simple Express server, and then I wanted to go over and always before our lessons, if you pull the code or clone the code, we'll have a complete section, and then what we're working on today, and then also I wanted to go over array methods today, just array methods that return arrays. So let's think like map, filter, reduce. I guess reduce can return anything, but let's just go over those three things, mostly map, because we're gonna transition everything to React by next week. And you're gonna need these array methods because when you're looping through or traversing through all these arrays, you're gonna need these array methods. So today, Express server and array methods, and maybe some DOM manipulation, and that's what we're gonna do today. And the next time we're gonna do, and then it's gonna prepare us for React for next time. So amazing. So to make an Express server, the first thing we're gonna need to do is init. So let's just make a README. So let's just do simple Express server. Oops. Stable completion. Okay. This will be a simple web server. We'll be able to serve static files. Is this okay size? All right, wait, okay. We'll be able to handle HTTP requests for now. And packages. Packages we're gonna need are let me see. NodeMon and Express. And you can just do NodeMon. So NodeMon is gonna be it's short for node monitor. So basically you run a node file, node.js file with node file name, but then NodeMon is node monitor. So whenever there's changes in the file, it updates the file and reruns the code. So that's gonna help us in the long run. So the way you install this is npm I nodemon -d, and that's a dev dependency. So dev dependency is there's two types of dependencies: the dependencies that you need to run the project in the development mode, and the dependencies that you're always gonna need in production level. So we're gonna so nodemon isn't really required in the production. It's only required in the dependencies. So you want to kind of separate like your dependencies, as in like dev dependencies and regular dependencies. And then we're gonna need something called Express. And if you guys are wondering what I'm doing like with these hashtags, this is just header 2. Let's actually make this header 1, and it's markdown, and it's just a way you write this markdown README file. As you can see, it's readme.md, which is .markdown. npm I, and then we'll use Express in here. And then, so these are the things that we're gonna need. Init project will be npm init -y, and the -y flag is just to say yes to all the prompts. Because I'll show you guys both ways, and I'll just delete the stuff. But I bypass like all the questions that npm like asks me when I'm initializing a project by that's true by pressing -y, because It's annoying to be honest. So I just put npm init minus y, and then it completes the package.json for me. So I'm in the Express server folder directory. So I'm just gonna show you guys like lessons, lesson 2, Express server. So this Express server that we're running today will actually, you can actually put the project that we did last time into the static folder, the public directory folder, and it'll be able to serve it. So you won't have to press live server, but you can just run the server, and then you can go to your files. But I'll leave that up to you guys. And I'll just show you how to do it today. So I'm gonna press npm init without the -y flag. So npm init -y, and then it starts asking me a bunch of like questions like package name, version, description. You could just press enter, simple express app, whatever. But the entry point, which is gonna be an index.js, but I'm just gonna control C and exit out of here because I do not want to complete this. And npm init -y will just do everything for me. So it gets like from the readme, the description, the index, it just handles everything, so I don't have to answer all those questions and press enter like 5 times or whatever. So now we have a package.json. It was created. And one very important thing, when you start installing these node modules, you never want to push your node modules into the repository because it gets quite robust. So you always want to make a git ignore and always put your node modules here in your git ignore, because the package JSON will install it locally no matter what. So always git ignore your node modules. So we init the project, run project. We'll do npm run start. And for someone new, we'll do npm install. And npm install will install everything in the package.json. So the first thing we need to do is npm I nodemon -d. That's going to install our node monitor. And npm I express. So I is just short for install. You can actually write install too. So when someone comes in here and say they do not have the node module, right? I'm just gonna delete them real quick. rm-rf node modules. There we go. Now node modules is gone. But now npm install, the node package manager, will look at this package JSON and install accordingly. Like if you guys ever done Python, it's kind of like your requirements.txt when you pip install. So pip install -r requirements.txt. So package JSON is kind of doing that for us. It's a little bit more robust because it installs like because it makes it for us, right? So npm install, and it looks at the package JSON, and then it installs Express and nodemon. So now it's the same. We have Express, and Express comes with a bunch of other packages. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna make, so the entry point to our code is gonna be index.js. So we'll make an index.js file, index.js. And in here, now we're in last time we were running JavaScript in the browser. So you guys have to kind of like really know that there's JavaScript that's running the browser and there's JavaScript that's running the server. The syntax is the same, but the engines are a bit different. This is like Node is like written in, I think, like C++ or something. It's like C++ land, and then the browser is kind of like V8 engine land. So they run a little bit different, but in the end, it's all the same syntax. And that's why JavaScript is so powerful, because It's the only language that can actually be run in the browser and the server. So it's pretty cool. I mean, the two other languages that can be run in the browser is HTML and CSS, but I don't think you can code in the server with HTML and CSS. But okay, all right. So we're gonna make a console.log hello world. And the way you run a Node.js file is you write node and then the file name. So you see hello world here. But the one thing we're gonna do is in the package JSON, we're gonna add in the scripts on line 6. And the test is we have no tests right now, but if we had like Jest, Mocha, or Chai, or whatever you choose, you can put your unit tests here, and you do that by like writing like index.test.js. But we're not doing that today. For a later lesson. So in here you can actually put like a bunch of scripts. I'm gonna turn my GitHub Copilot off here. I think it's on disabled. And then for index.js, I'll disable this too. Disable. All right. So scripts. Let's just make a script called start. So this is what the npm package manager would look for. And then here I'm gonna put node index.js. So relative to this file, index.js is right here. So you can just put index first. And then now, if I run npm and run start, you'll see that it runs hello world, same as if we did node index.js. It's the same thing, except one is run by the package manager and one is run just by node. So we installed something called nodemon earlier. So nodemon is actually a package that we have in the package.json in our node modules, and nodemon is right here, 3.14. I'd rather use nodemon here. I think recently in JavaScript there's something called like there's a watch flag that replaces nodemon, but I don't know if it works very well, and I think it's I don't think it's like stable yet. Maybe it is. Last time I checked, but I've been using nodemon for years and years, and it's never let me down. So nodemon is the way to go. So npm run start, and now it'll watch the file. So it says nodemon watching paths to everything in this project, watch extensions JS, MJS, CJS, and JSON. So if I make any changes inside of any of those files in the paths anywhere, it'll rerun the file. So if I go to index.js and I say hello best community right here, it'll and I save, it'll rerun the file. So hello best community, there we go. You guys are. Yeah. So there you are. So there we are. We have nothing in our file now. And if you guys are wondering what console log does, it just logs things into the server, into the terminal. So the reason why it's called console log, I think, is because like captains or something, they like log things in a book. So I think that's where JavaScript comes from. It's like a log. So it's pretty cool. And console in the hood is under the hood is like a class, and it has methods like log, warn, error, trace, table. But honestly, I only use error and log, and I usually end up making my own loggers that use console log. But okay, so because someone said so, we're gonna use module. Happy. Anyways, so wait. All right. We'll use module. All right, so we can go import express from express. There we go. And then that'll import like the whole express package library, the module into our code, and whatever is default So there's the module.exports and then require the lib.express. So if you look in the module, actually, let me see here. Go into this mess here. All right, express. Where is it? Oh, here it is. So in the index, it's importing module.exports equals require lib express. And there's a README. There are like node modules. There's a bunch of things here, like application.js. If you ever like wonder how to use a package, the best way I feel is to just look at the code, because like in the end, code is just code. It's just text, to be honest. That's all it is. And you should never like be afraid of it, because I think a long time ago when I was starting, I was like afraid to look at this kind of code because I didn't really understand it. Like I don't know what the heck like app init is, but like okay, like there's an app variable and then there's there's something like dot init in that object. They're trying to make it a function, and it clears out the cache, clears out the engines, clears out the settings, and it does something called default configurations, which is like set here. So I mean, like always look at the node modules if you're having a problem, and there's things like, you know, you can fork the node module if you find a problem with it and then install your own version. Or I've been using this package called like patch package, and I'll show you guys how to use that in a later lesson, but I use it in like React Native a lot. Like when a package doesn't really work for me, you can actually like change things in the node modules. And maybe I should explain this first. Like if you change something in the node modules, next time you run npm install, it's gonna overwrite everything that you changed, so it doesn't matter. But patch package will install. Wait, Mini tells me to mute my mic every time I want to cough. Just give me a second. Thank you. All right, cool. So yeah, like I was saying, like node modules are just are just it's just text in the end. Code is just text. Like you open Google Docs and you write like an email, or like you write an email. It's the same thing. Like it's just the same letters, the same like symbols. And you should never be like afraid to look at it, because in the end, like you look at the module and you can understand how it works. And I was talking about patch package last time, but basically later on you'll like npm install will overwrite all the changes you make, but then patch package, you'll have these patches and it'll install, and then in the post install script, so there is something called a post install that you can set in your index.js or your package JSON, and then it'll look in your patches and overwrite. It'll install the patches once more. So I'll show you guys that later on, but I'll show you guys an example.
I think Jaden has a question.
Oh, sorry, quick question. How would you describe what node modules are? So node modules are just like libraries or pieces of code that you can put like import into your code. So like Node is a big community. NPM is a huge community. So before I actually like write something, like writing this like HTTP server or something is gonna, it's a lot of code, and it's been done a million times. So, you know, you search in the community and you see if it's someone's already written it. So Express is like a wrapper for, I think, HTTP. So I think there's a node package called library called HTTP. But it's just a code that is maintained by open source or whatever it is, and it's usually really good code if you see like other people are using it. So node modules are just pieces of code that you can use. That's That's like the most simple explanation. Is that all right? Answer, Jaden? Okay. And I just wanted to show you guys. Let me see. I think that's take a look at some production code. So Microsoft.json. So let me see. So these are all my scripts in my production code before. So there's a script called post install that comes like that Node knows about. And what I did here was patch package, and that's an npm package that I have installed here. Patch package, and that's inside of Node. And you guys watched the last video. You guys know that how I do my reading. But patch package. So it basically you add the post install script and you have a post install minus post install and patch package, and that's going to allow post install will allow you to put the post install into the scripts. And basically what the usage npx patch package and then the package name, and that's going to fix the node module. Package name means node module, and basically it'll put these patches inside, right? So basically, let's say you have a node module that's a little bit broken and you need to fix it a little bit. It shows you what files to minus, what files to plus that I changed. And then after the npm install that overwrites your packages, because it's looking at package JSON, patch package will make those changes that you made before, and it'll help you get rid of some errors, or because not every node module is perfect, right? So that's all that is. Cool. All right. So first thing I wanted to do is instantiate our app. So let's go const app equals, let me hide this, guys. Const app equals express. We'll instantiate that. So instantiating express app here. And then we have to define a port. And usually that's going to be in the it's going to be in the environment file .env, and we should actually ignore that too. But I'm not because this is a lesson and this is like for all of us to share. I'm not going to do an environment file yet because then it's not going to be in the GitHub repository, but we can share one in the Discord. So today I will just put all the secret variables inside of the file, and then later on I will we can move it to the environment file. So say const port equals 8888. It's a good one because not any no programs or anything run on that port. And I was born in 1988, so port app is going to run on port 88 on this. All right. So now we have let's just make a simple get request. Whoops, app.get, and then at the at ping, we'll do so it takes this is a callback. So this app.get takes I think it takes 3 parameters, but right now we're going to think about the 2. So it takes a route as the first argument, and then the second one is a callback, and that callback is going to give you something called request and res, or they're actually, you can call them whatever you want. So I think it stands for request and resolve. So I'm just calling it rec and res. So request is everything that the client is telling to the server, and then when the server is talking back to the client, it's using the res object or the res argument. And that meaning the request will hold everything from the client, right? When you're like calling, is gonna hold like, hey, where is this guy calling from? Like, is there anything in the params or the body or the query? And like basically this is how I think of the server. A server, a backend is like a librarian. So like a customer comes to a library, they're like, hey, can I get all the books starting with, I don't know, like X? And then the librarian goes to the database, and then he's like, or she is like, okay, give me all the books that start with X, and then they return it to the client. So that's basically what the backend is doing most of the time. And so basically, request is the customer asking all these things, right? Like, hey, I need this, and this, and giving you the context and the clues of what you're gonna need or what to do, and then the server does it and then sends it back with like res.send or res.send file or whatever it is back to the client. So here you can just put like description, ping ping at endpoint, ping for call to connect. And then this is kind of how you write comments in JavaScript. I'm overly commenting my code really to just show you like this is how you comment and things like that. But basically the way I did that is you just press slash star and then enter. And then this will, and then you always do it in like the beginning on top of functions or something like that. And then you instantiate it with like an at, and then like description. You'll have like a couple things like this, like at param, at, and then you can like tag it as an async function if it's going to be async. At oh yeah, here they are, like abstract, access, alias, argument, async, class, constant, constructor, and all this kind of stuff. Description. But example, and this is kind of how you kind of comment your JavaScript code. And each language is different. So like this is the JavaScript way. Exactly, yes. For single line, you would put like double slash like this, like I did over here. But when you're explaining methods or functions, this is the correct way to do it, because you can like kind of like separate your params, your description, your examples, and all this kind of stuff. And then later on, if you do it the correct way, there's actually a package called JSDoc that I use a lot, because at every company you're gonna have to write documentation. Again, it's the most grueling task in the world sometimes. And let me see if I can find this real quick. 1 second. Let's see here. It's one of the most grueling tasks in the world. Whoops. Here we are. Let's go to our old one. And then documentation, project app API. Oof. You have to write all this documentation. It's grueling. It's basically you have to explain what the headers are, how to call it, the response, and all this kind of stuff. And it's not the most fun task to do at the company when they ask you to do it, to be honest. But basically there's a package called if you write the comments correctly on top of your functions, there's a JSDoc. And JSDoc auto generates a lot of your documentation for you. And if you guys get anything from this like lesson that we're doing today, learn how to use JSDoc, because it's gonna save you a lot of time, and you get to do more of the things you love to do, like code and figure out problems rather than explain to people like what you need to do. And documentation generator for JavaScript. It basically looks through your code and looks for those comments and creates that documentation for you in a very pretty way. And I think it's very good. And like just massive time saver and just honestly, like companies just want this documentation, but no one ever looks at it. So you just show, I did it, here it is. If anyone really wants to look at it, have a look and have those files ready and have that but honestly, like you're seeing like basically once you're like coding at the company or whatever, you're seeing like your friends, basically your coworkers that are your friends that you talk to every single day, and you're talking and communicating while building. And I think it's like they can just ask you. But I mean, obviously the documentation is good, but that's more for like newer people that come into the company that want to look like, hey, I have all this fire, I want to read all your documentation, all this stuff. But then everything falls in line later, I think. To be honest, I'm not trying to shit on anyone, but okay. Sorry. Okay, so now we have a app.get and then ping and then request. So here you say res.send and it's a method off of the res. And then maybe I could just say pong. And now take these out and simple express simple endpoint for slash ping for health check. Okay. Have this real quick. Open my browser. Watching some boxing on it. Anybody watch boxing? Canelo won last night. I have to watch it on like illegal websites in Korea. That's what that black website was. Like, King Kong TV 06. I watch all my sports on here. It's pretty good. Anyway, here we are. So we go to localhost 8888 and then on ping. Whoops. Oh, we're not persisting the server. So app.on. Wait, is that it? Hold on. I think app.on. Just check it. App.listen. Sorry. All right, so app.listen and then wait, what is the argument that it takes? Hold on. Oh, the port and then the callback. So we'll pass the port here, and then we'll call a function callback, and then we'll just say console.log app is running on port. Oops. Plus. And now app is running on port 8888. And now if we go to ping, it should say pong. There we go. So now we have a simple HTTP request going on. And from what I'm saying earlier, we do this again. So basically the server's returning the response to Pong. And basically you're sending a bunch of stuff, right? Like the request headers. Basically you have this accept encoding, accept language, cache control, connection, the host, who you are, and all this kind of stuff, right? That's gonna be in your request object, and the res is gonna be your response. So that's that, and that's how you make a simple HTTP request. All right, so there are many things like you can do app.get and then greetings. And then maybe you could take request.res here. And then I think now we can actually look at the console.log request equals request, and then res.send hello and greetings. So now, well, I need to clear my throat one more time. There we are. So if we look here, I sent this is basically the browser. When I'm doing this, it's a GET request, right? So, the server is working. It's just I'm trying to explain like the request and the how the HTTP request works. So basically, in that request object that we're sending over, it's the GET request, and here we're saying hello, but actually inside of that request object, there's like a bunch of stuff, right? There's a bunch like symbol, remove connection, and this is basically how the client is talking to the server. So that's that. And then I think there's something called query. So there's two things that the client uses to talk to the server, and that's going to be inside of query or params or body. And for each request type or method, like get or post or put or delete, they're gonna use different ones. But here, let's say that I want to pass like a name. So that's gonna be in your it's gonna be a string parameter. And then let's just say John Sue. So now inside of query, basically we have a name John Sue, and that's what the server can kind of play with here now. And we can like put a bunch of stuff in here, right? Let's say like location, and then that's gonna equal like I'm just gonna name something here, Hapjang. It's a Korean location. It's where everyone hangs out in Korea. Hapjang is a very cool place. So name Jeonsu and location Hapjang. That's gonna be inside of your query, so we can see that that's what the client is telling to like the librarian, like I said earlier. Hey, I need name John Su. This is the context that I can give you. The name is John Su, and the location is Hapjang. And maybe with that, maybe you can query the database. Hey, give me John Su from Hapjang, and then it'll give you all the information. So we don't have a database yet. We can hook that up later in a later lesson. But I hope you guys are understanding completely. So now we basically, if we look for query once more, here we are. Oh, second. Wait. Name John Su. That one more time. Query. And then you see the location Hapjang. I didn't want the string. So you do that with the and symbol and location Hapjang. And 1 second. So query. And you see John Su, location Hapjang. And this can go endless, right? You just have to add the and symbol. I don't know, like occupation equals community member. And basically now we have access to all of those parameters inside of our server. So name, Jeonsu, location, Hapjang, occupation, community member. And now in the server, if I wanted to kind of return data, I could say like const. I could pull those guys off, right? Const, I think it's, hold on, let me just make sure it's correct. Res.send request.query. I think it's up query. Let's see if I can send it back here. All right, so now we have access to that JSON object that we're sending over. And I think there's a really fun algorithm where you take this string right here on Code Wars or something, and you basically turn that into an object, which is that's doing it under the hood. But basically now we can get const name. So we're destructuring name, location, occupation equals request dot query. And then right here, let's say we go and query database with this information. So let's say you'd say like I don't know, this dot adapter dot find. Then you say like, whoops. This is just some pseudocode here. Then you say like query name, location, occupation, and then it would search for name matching with John Su, location matching with Hop Jong, and occupation matching with community member, and then maybe you will return like the guy's ID. Maybe it's like 1. And name, location, occupation. And then maybe you get like more data from there, right? Age, 35, favorite food, ice cream, chocolate ice cream. And what else? Hobbies, hockey, jog. So now basically this age, favorite food, hobbies, and ID that I picked up, it's just pseudocode, but that's kind of like what would come from our database. Oops. Oh, not return. Res.send. Oops. 1 second. Something's going on. Cannot set headers after they are sent to the client. I'm not setting headers though. I'm not setting headers. 1 second. Turn that off. Start. Maybe it's a JSON.stringify. Oops. What's going on? Give me a second. Not set headers after they are sent to client. Like a typo in my code or something. Hold on. Just make sure this is working. One second. What is going on? Cannot set headers after they are sent to the client. What is going on? Following is my code. The res object in Express is a subclass of Node.js. Oh, sorry. I have the res.send here. Can't have 2 res.sends. I missed that. All right, so go back here. Now we go back here, and now we have our JSON object with that data. Sorry about that. I had a typo. And Cool. So now you guys are probably wondering like, okay, this is cool and stuff, but we need to like start a client or something, right? So the way you serve static files, I'm gonna look in this code. I'm just gonna copy paste this, guys. 1 second. So you're gonna need something called path. So Google is amazing. So README, let's go to the README. We're gonna use something called path. It's gonna help Node find directories and code inside of our project, and it's gonna be path. And I think it's npmi path. Let me just make sure that it's not a dev dependency. NodeMon. All right, so we're just gonna install. We're gonna install path. Let me just look at this real quick. npm path. See if it's a dev dependency or okay, it's just this. Okay. So we're gonna turn this off. npm install path. Cool. And then now inside of package.json, you'll see that it has path and dependencies. So you have three things: dev dependency, NodeMon, Express, and path. Out real quick. So now we can do import path from path. Cool. And then up here, you can say const public directory path equals path.join at public directory. So inside of here, we're going to need to put a public directory, public. Or you can name it whatever you want, but I'll call it public. And then you have to tell the app to use it. So app.use express.static public directory. Cannot do everything from memory. Coding is very much about looking things up and I mean, I copy paste a lot of my code, to be honest. But I never copy paste something I don't understand. And I think that's a good rule of thumb. Like, yes, like I may not understand it completely, like if it's like a crazy algorithm or something. Like I app.use. Oh, thank you. A good rule of thumb is like copy paste it if you understand it or like understand exactly what it's doing. Because I remember like at my old company, like when I was first starting, it was a real estate company, but basically we had a bunch of coordinates and we had a polygon and we had to do like a polygon inclusion thing. And well, let me see if I can find the code. If my Googling skills are pretty good. Polygon inclusion, JavaScript. Check if point is inside a polygon. So I think I used to copy paste this code all the time here. So it's a function inside. It takes a polygon and it takes a point, and then it I mean the code looks really crazy. I never memorized how to do it, but I used to copy paste this one all the time. And it just checks if like there's an intersection with that coordinate and the polygon, and then it returns like true or false. So it's just like an algorithm, but I guess copy paste like the algorithms if you can understand and explain like what it's doing. But like with code, like honestly, it's about understanding and not like memorizing. So that's what I have to say about that. And thank you for the typo fix. So now we have a public directory. I'm just gonna put an index.html in here. And do the bang operator, like we did a Kanban. And let's just do hello world here. Then we'll do npm run start. And now can do localhost 8888, and this is gonna be our HTML file right here. So actually, from last time, if I pulled in, wait one second, not lesson 1, lesson 2 project complete. Say I copy these guys, put it over here, paste, and I have these index.html script and style.css here. Maybe if I do like this, we'll have the cam import here. And now you don't need to use live server. And now you can just run your code by your own server. So I think that's pretty cool. And crap, we're running out of time, but let's just go over map really quick. And there are like lessons here, but I hope you guys learned about the server, like a simple like an Express server today. And let's go here. Array methods. So I'm going to turn this server off. Let's just do it in the browser. We have a console. All right. Here. And basically, map is an array method that returns an array. So the documentation for that is mdn array map. And basically, if we read here, you have an array 1, 4, 9, and 16. And then if you map and you want to multiply and you want to double each one, it'll you can just return that on that element and it'll return the array and the mutated array. So you pass a callback in there. So basically, we're gonna need this for React. Let's just say like const data equals, and you say an array, right? And you have like a name, fill, whoops. Data. Right, it doesn't change the initial array. So array methods are very important because there are no side effects. Like I think JavaScript when it was first created, there were a bunch of methods that mutated the original array, like shift, unshift, pop, push, splice, and all these kind of things. But then I feel like since ES6, they've been kind of the return value has been like a separate entity, or like, and I think that's been very useful in recent JavaScript. So let's just say name Joe. Name Min. So now we have an array of objects with just name inside. So basically, what we can do is data.map. We can say const altered equals data.map. And then let's just put D, and we can return the way we return an object in one line is like this. And then we can say we can spread the D, and so then spread that object, and then we can add like things to it, like age, 20, school, DVC. And then now I press enter and I look at altered. We have name, fill, age, 20, school, DVC from all these from this addition here. And then now if we wanted to alter it even more, we could say alter it again. And we take the equals altered dot map. Am I spelling that correctly? altered dot map, and then just say A. Do that again. And if you guys are wondering what the spread operator does, it takes the contents of that object and then spreads it into that new object. So it's really good for cloning objects, shallow clones of objects later. So I can spread and then the A, and then I can add something like city, my old stomping grounds, Pleasant Hill. And then like I'm thinking about students, so like they're all similar age, they all go to the same school, they all probably live in the same city. Just add Pleasant. And then now alter it again. And that would be, they would add the city here. And so that's kind of how map works. So it's an array method. You can alter arrays, mutate, like change arrays, and then return, and it'll return the new array. So that's very powerful for React because you are in API, like HTTP requests, right? Like I'll just show you guys here. Where's my old barman.neighbor, cafe.neighbor.com/barman. There we are. Let's go to the mobile version. All right, so if I refresh here, right? And then, so I go to like article list, and there's a response. It's basically a result, and there's an article list, and it's basically an array of objects, right? So you got to think each of these little cards on Facebook or this blog, it's all going to be these objects here. And you basically make this, you're not gonna code every single one. You're gonna kind of programmatically do it, and you're gonna use a map, and then you're gonna return like an element from there, right? And that's how kind of React works with these array methods. So you take some data, and then you make some HTML object or some UI object with it, and you display it. And that becomes very powerful because you don't have to work out your fingers as much. So you can just put a map array method inside it straight into the JSX if you just break out, and then basically take the data and then return this JSX object, HTML object, into inject it into your UI, your presentation later. So that's a very simple explanation of a map, but I think I'll push this code for Express, and next time we're gonna start on React, and I will just start the React project now with Vite, and I will push it. So, and just get lesson 3 ready. So let's just do lesson 3, and let's figure out how to do that. Vite React, well, getting started. Let's see here. We're gonna use npm. I have been like experimenting with pnpm. It's very fast and it's very good, and Yarnberry as well, Yarn 3. So I think they're very good, but ooh, you can shorten it like this. npm. Let's go back. Lesson 3. We're gonna do npm create, and then we're gonna say, let's go back. Type bill project. Let's call it that, and then the template we're gonna use is let's see. Let's use React TypeScript. React, yes. Center. Yes. All right. So now lesson 3 has a full Vite project in it. And now we'll cd into Oh. Oh, because it's one directory inside. I get it. All right. Okay. Now, it told us to npm install and npm run dev. I think that's what it said. Now npm install. And that's going to install all our dev dependencies according to Vite. So that's going to be in our package.json. Need all these things to run Vite and React. And then that our node modules folder popped up after the install. And Vite is really good because it's very fast. And npm run dev. You can see that it has a dev script in here that just runs Vite. Called it Vite for the longest time, but I read the documentation and people kept on telling me it's Vite. But in my mind, every time I say Vite, I keep on thinking it's Vite. And then whenever I'm saying Vite, I keep on thinking in my head that it's Vite. So this is our Vite React project. It has a simple counter in here. I think we can build some really cool stuff with React. Like I feel like I've been using React for like, I don't know, like let's say like 7 years. And I find it much more comfortable than HTML, CSS, JavaScript. And I mean it's like in its industry standard recently. So it's just like take all this out, express, wait, and then we can say export default function app return save, and then do that, and then we have like a hello world here. And that's basically what we're going to we're gonna start our next time. We'll learn how to make components, our folder structure, our configurations, and it's gonna be fun. And I'll teach you guys about use state, use effect, and all the weird kind of hooks like use imperative handler, you got use memo, use callback, and all these kind of stuff. And it'll be really exciting for me because actually when I get into React, I kind of like nerd out and I can and I think it'll help you guys because pretty good with React, to be honest. Not but it'll be fun, I think. And we can get into it next time and just practice like the array methods, filter, whatever. Like I want to do like a simple like a random user thing like for next time, which is gonna be like this API. And I'm like at my old company, whenever there was like a front end developer, I always used to say like the coding test, I'd say hit random user API and then make a user interface, then make like a delete and stuff like that. And it'll be very interesting and fun. So like I'll ask you guys to like one thing I want to use in here is Axios, but maybe we'll just use fetch for now. Once make request equals fetch. And we'll mark it as an await function. We could say like once res equals fetch. Async.
Adrian asked a question.
Oh, did he? Did you use React for all your startups? No, when I first started, honestly, React was too hard because it was like class components and stuff. And I always say like I'm not like, and there was a much easier learning curve with Vue. And Vue is really performant. Vue 2.0. Vue is like another JavaScript framework when Angular, React, and Vue were kind of like fighting it out. And I guess React was the Canelo, right? It whooped on all of them. But Vue was it was good for developers because it was kind of like just learn like writing HTML but like in components. And then when after I learned Vue 2.0, then I went into React and it helped like it was a good like learning curve for me because I tried go straight into React, and at that time it was a lot harder, I feel, because they were using class components, and you had to learn about this dot state, and exactly, and like I don't know, like this dot, and then all these like life cycle hooks and all this kind of stuff, and it was a pain in the ass. But recently, like it became functional components, and it's it's a lifesaver, to be honest. So let's just make this request real quick. I'm gonna use something called Axios next time, but we'll do this one for today. So just to show you guys, like React is just a huge library, right? So you can actually do like import star as React like this, and then you could say something like, I want to pick use effect off of React, right? And this is kind of the same thing, because React is, in the end, it's just a big class or a big object. And basically now we go to our beat project. See our, oh my, we'll see a huge object here with all the results. I don't know why my alt key keeps on falling off my keyboard. All right, anyways, so that's gonna be our object that we're gonna play around with next time. It's gonna be fun. And basically you'll just see that it's making a API results request, what we learned in Express just a second ago. So I'm sending a payload that's going to be the result of 10. That's going to be that query that we were talking about. And then it's going to give us this response. So that's what the server's doing. And it's going to be fun. I'm excited, to be honest.
Awesome.
Cool.
Well,
And it is a request. I know that, but it's something funny with React. It's I keep on reading about it, and it's coming from this use strict mode thing. But it's not like a big thing, like, but React will be fun, and we're gonna create some cool project, and I'm gonna push this code and have you guys look for it, and then I think that's it for today.
awesome.
And I just, like, if you guys want to chill, I'm down to chill for like my baby and my wife went for a walk, so I have some time to kind of chill. And it's Korean Thanksgiving right now, so
Yeah.
wait, it's Chuseok. If you guys are interested in
Chuseok, yeah.
Korea, but it's like a 3-day holiday. And everybody spends time with their families and stuff. So I'm pretty I'm on the hook for that.
That's what's up.
Not like it's like a bad thing. All right, let me push the code. So, but I'm really excited to do React because sometimes in the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript stuff is it's a pain. Not a pain, but it's you'll find out why they made React, right? And that's
Jaden says, do you guys eat specific foods to celebrate?
excuse me. And wait, do you guys eat exactly? We have something called chun, so like these kind of um any documentation like we have like this rice cake soup and just a bunch of stuff. But
We'll
I
see it
don't
on
think
the off-topic channel in Discord. I'm sure we'll
yeah.
post some food there.
Well, yeah, I can post some pictures of food. I'm going to my aunt's house tomorrow, actually.
Right.
Tomorrow's actually I know I'm 35. I'm not excited about it, but tomorrow's actually my birthday. So we gotta have that seaweed soup miyakuk, right? You know about that mini, right?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so any documents or videos on React we can watch and read before next week. Um, I'll send it in the JS course, like videos on YouTube. If you guys need to watch it. I've a couple things that I thank you, Adrian. A couple things that I find interesting and stuff like that. Like there's an event loop video that I'm gonna post right now about how JavaScript runs. I think you guys can gain a lot of value from there.
Mhm.
Hold on, I keep on getting like my ADHD is going off. Like I'm trying to commit this code and push it, but then I want to this kind of stuff. Hold on. Lesson to upload update and lesson 3 feed React in in it. Push. Cool. Now thinking the it now everything is pushed, everything is clear. JS event loop. His name is Philip, actually. This guy, Philip Roberts. Really good. Let me share this. Copy.
We're trying to be better, you know?
What?
Nothing. I said we're trying to be better
Oh yeah.
for the
React is
resource.
number one. Changed my mind. React is good, but I'm really in this Svelte recently. Svelte is very easy. It feels like what a framework or what they're trying to do with all these other frameworks. Like it doesn't use a virtual DOM. It doesn't need a render engine. It's super simple, and that's what I'm using in my projects. I'm just gonna post this in here. It's not to do with React, but it's just to do with JavaScript engines and event loops. And I gained a lot from this video. Yes, this video is like amazing. Like he explains it in such a good way that I think everyone that's coding should really watch this video. And I think React view state under the hood. There was like some JS conference by someone. He kind of explains like it's like a let and then there's a function to change it. I think it's this guy right here. Yeah. He recreates use state in under 30 minutes. It's very good. Because we're gonna use state next time. So that I think Adrian, you should definitely watch this because and everyone because actually really interesting. Like in the end, like React has all this crazy stuff, right? And it looks like crazy, but in the end, it's just JavaScript code. It's not anything magic. And in the end, from JavaScript code, all it is just text, right? It's like reading a book. I'd say React is definitely future proof for jobs. React won't go away. It has too big of a community. It's and it's just it's taken on a world of its own.
We got Goni. He just joined, but
I just joined.
unless he's
Sorry.
finished, but it's okay. We're hanging out a little bit.
Chilling. We're chilling. Thanks for coming.
Yes, sir.
These two videos, I just posted them in JavaScript free course. They're very good. What the heck is event loop anyway? And can Swix recreate React hooks and use state in under 30 minutes? But I did hear in React 19, right? They're gonna get rid of all these like weird hooks, like use memo, use callback, and then it's just gonna have something called use, which is kind of crazy. Any other questions? Exactly. React 19 has a compiler. Murali, have you seen that React? Facebook has its own React language, actually. Well, they created it, but they have their own language just for React. I think this is a Theo T3 is very good. But this one's good. I'll share this one. So new flow language features for React. They only use this inside of Facebook. But basically you don't need to kind of like destructure the object and you can just pass the props as is. And I think it's pretty cool. This is how you code, and then this is the component syntax for how they do it at Facebook with their own thing.
All right, Adrian, take care. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
See you next week. For
See you
sure, for
next week.
sure. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
By the way, Phil, holidays tomorrow, so you might not see me tomorrow, brother.
Oh, we're gonna say like good morning no matter what, dude. And by the way, I'm not like the screen is pink and red, so I just it's skin is reflecting off. But
Right.
alright. All right. Any other questions? Or good. Anyone listen to the Misfits? No? No problem.
It's fun. These are fun, man. These are fun.
I I love doing this, dude. Especially like all these people and stuff. It's
Hmm.
amazing. It's fun.
Yeah,
But
so hopefully
are,
we get what's that, go ahead?
oh, are you going? Where are you going tomorrow?
Oh, me, I'm just I got like two places to go tomorrow. Like mom's and then like the what is it? The
Like us.
mountains for the to
Oh,
visit the grandpa.
okay.
Yeah.
But wait, okay.
But like it'll be okay though. It's not gonna affect me that much.
We got the Mirelli, Jaden, and Sen. That's cool.
Just Jocelyn.
Dawson left.
Yeah, okay, all right.
She said see ya. But I didn't know the context. I thought she was saying see ya to Adrian for a second.
Oh yeah, me too. And she bounced. I
She just
think so some of the anyways, I'm gonna stop the recording here. Thank you guys for the coming. We can talk a little bit more. I'm just gonna
yeah.
stop the recording.